Alrighty guys, so welcome to part 3, I believe. Can't remember. I think it was part 3. Finally done waxing the John Deere. And I don't know. Looks alright to me. I really don't see a difference in it, but I'll let you guys take a look here, but in part 1 of the video, you guys remember it was sunny out. No wind. In part 2, it was cloudy, a little bit of rain. This is part 3. And we're getting a Category 5 hurricane right now. Okay, maybe a Category 3, I don't know. It's insanely nuts freaking winds anyway. Really windy. I haven't listened to the radio yet to see where all those winds coming from. But anyways, it took me all day to wax the John Deere. I kind of just took my time with it. I did little sections at a time. And you can kind of feel that the body's a little bit smoother. But I think in order to get it really, really smooth, you would have to really put multiple layers on, I think, to really get it soft. Because the hoods are still like a little rough feeling, but the back fenders and everything feel really smooth. While they're obviously pretty clean. So, but yeah, and I did the rims. The rims, well, you're never really going to be able to feel the smoother than them anyway, because they were kind of, even though you clean them, there's still going to be some crap that's going to be stuck to them. What I would recommend doing is if you buy a brand new piece of machinery, like brand new, no hours on it, before you even go out and put it to work, I would wax the sumbitch first. And get it really waxy, get lots of wax on there, about 3 inches thick, just really hammer it on there. But I went through, about 3 rags. Once it started getting kind of crappy looking, I switched over to a new one just so I wouldn't put that old crap in the fresh stuff. So now I don't know if you'll be able to really tell the difference. Now this is not going to look perfectly shiny clean because the tractor's already got scratches in it, and it's not. I'm not the best. Waxer in the world. I mean, if I took it to a professional, it would look nice, but not going to charge all that kind of money. And I have so much wax left over. I took the container back in, but I barely put a dent in that little container, or big ass container, I should say. I took maybe about this much out of it. They would do the whole John Deere pretty much all on that. I'm going to probably do Big Red probably next week. He needs to be cleaned anyway because the cat's kind of let it rip all over him again, so he needs to be cleaned anyway. It's got a little bit of mud and crap on him. But I do have like the fenders and stuff on Big Red and stuff like that, because that could be waxed anyway, but we'll do that next week. I'm still trying to find little areas that have not been buffed very well, but I think if you actually use a buffing machine, it would probably look a little better. Now they say to leave it on there. They say to leave it on there for a few minutes, and then let it, I guess, kind of harden up and do whatever it's got to do. I find it about a minute. It's all you need, and it's ready to come off. Because what I did, every time I would wax a section of the John Deere, I would go and rinse off the sponge again, get the sponge clean again, even though you probably don't have to, but that's just, I did that. So that took, it took a little bit of time, not too long. And then, hell, not even a minute. I'm thinking maybe like, I don't know, it doesn't really take me long to rinse that sponge out. So, I'm going to say maybe, well, let's just say a minute. takes time for me to walk from here up to the house and back, you know, so. But usually by then, it's already like, because I'll kind of like, I'll take my finger and I'll kind of just, you know, like a little bit of it, I'll move a little bit of it, and if it don't move, then it's dry pretty much. So I think it's pretty much ready to come right off. They say a few minutes, like I don't know what a few minutes is. So I think it would have been better if I had more lighting in here, because I really be able to see sides and stuff. It's kind of hard. I can see the hood and everything fine on the top and on the sides, because the hood's, for one, it's more eye level if you sit on the floor, and the lighting hits it better. But once you get to the fenders and like the back fenders and then behind it, there's not much lighting there. I think I am going to have to upgrade to these upgrade these lights to LEDs. They'd be a little brighter and they'd probably show up a little better too. So, but I don't know. It worked out okay. It took me quite a while, because you know the John Deere's a pretty big tractor. I mean, I can't imagine how long it would take you to do a car, especially like the Ion that's sitting behind me. That'd probably take a couple days, but I'm not gonna wax that damn thing. It's not even running, so why wax it? So, but yeah, I washed it. You know, I scrubbed it clean and everything for about a good hour, and I got it as clean as I could possibly get it. But you can only get them so clean, you know. Some of the little things that were sticking on it they did come off. You kind of had to, you know, this with it and it popped off. But some of them, not so much. And I got that big scratch in the hood, in the side of the hood. That's never going to come off. I don't even think wax would ever cover it. You'd have to pretty much well just get a hole in the hood to avoid that. But I will have to. I think when I see, the tractor's going to have to go in at some point to get the deck figured out. There's a decal on the side of the hood there that needs to come off and get replaced because it is peeling, and I don't like that too much. So John Deere could just scrub it clean and then put a new one on. Since they can't paint them on, you still totally could have painted that on there, but, you know, wherever. Maybe if you would actually use steel, you know, instead of plastic, you could actually do a lot more of it. So, but I think it looks okay. It's not, like I said, it's not a damn professional job or anything like that, but hell, it'll work. So I guess we'll take a look here. And now it looks shiny, but it's kind of always been that shiny, anyways. But it feels a little bit softer. Obviously, you can see my reflection in it, but you always kind of could anyway. It was never really faded that much. But you can probably see that little scuff in it. Well, that's never coming off. I don't know what the hell that is. Something hard really must have dug into that. So that's never coming off. I did the rims as well. So, you know. And the deck's actually pretty clean too. I didn't wax the deck though. It's just going to take way too much power to clean that off. You'd have to disconnect it and wash it up at the house. And for what it's doing, just, you know, keep it clean like that. It'll be fine. Like I said, I did all 4 rims. Did the fenders. That's still drying. And I mean, it looks shiny, but it might be a tiny bit shinier. But not as much as, I mean, you know, it's a little bit shinier than it was before, but I actually was able to tell a difference. And I waxed this green thing down in here too. What I did was, I did little sections at a time. So when I got done with the fender, I did this little area, and then I came up to about where this curl is here in the hood. I just did all that little section. Then I did it from that little section up to here, and so on. I just kept going. Right, I did it in little sections so that way I wouldn't be overwhelmed with the waxing job of it. But I went up halfway up the hood. This side was a lot darker this side was a lot lighter. So the wax is making it turn greener, making the green look darker, which is, you know, I guess more shinier, I guess, I don't know. So it actually made it look a little bit better. I think if you actually parked it outside, it would be definitely a lot better. We'll probably do that here in a minute anyway, but yeah. I noticed I got some scratches in the tail lights, both of them, so I don't know what the hell happened there, if the cats did something to it, or if I did something to it. I don't remember banging into anything, so it's probably the stupid animals. But, so yeah. Yeah, and I waxed all up in here, did all this. I didn't do this, though, there's no point to that. So, yeah. I mean, you can see the reflection in it, but you always kind of could anyway, so to me, I think it just made it look a little darker and maybe gave it a slight more shine to it. Yeah, I suppose the more wax you put on, the shinier it would be. But this is not going to be a show tractor. It's just going to be a working tractor, so there's no point in going all out, you know, all out on it. Now, if I was to say do something to the ion, you know, the car, like modify the hell out of that and make it look like a street rod or something, you know, then that's where you would want to wax the crap out of it. But for a working machine, there's no point. So still need to get the new seat for this thing yet too. But there's no point. Someone was telling me to get a patch job for this. There's no point because you would never be able to put this back together. You know, it's pretty badly damaged. So I'm just gonna get a whole. I'm either gonna buy another one like this, or I'm gonna get the deluxe version of it. The deluxe one has armrests, and I think the back can move. So I think that'll fit to the regular stuff that's underneath the seat there. It's just pinned on. The only thing that's keeping this seat on is this big giant pin here, and then the wire, and that's it. So that's all that's holding that seat on. I was kind of thinking maybe waxing this too, but really, what's the point? It looks pretty. You know, you're never really gonna see the shine on that anyway. But I think it looks pretty good. Deck's definitely a lot cleaner, so I still have to drop the deck off too because I got to get my wire out. So it's just stuck on the lift arm there. But yeah, the sticker here needs to be replaced. I'll get you a good shot of it. Yeah, see, it's peeling. So can't have that. So I think when the time comes to have John there look at the deck, I'm going to have them replace the sticker as well. So that's the only sticker that's taking a beating. Everything else is fine besides the deck. So gotta get that deck figured out, and then get that sticker replaced. And this John Deere should be good for another 200 hours. So I don't know. So, I don't know. Looks pretty good to me. We should probably get her outside and see what she looks like in the sun. But, God, that wind is terrible. So, the sun would probably shine a lot better on it. You'd probably get it even better looking. But, just waiting for the wax. I think the wax is fine now. I'm not sure how many layers you can... I think the one guy said you could put on as many as you want, depending on how, I guess, smooth you want it. I don't know. I probably could almost put another layer on, but a thin layer is kind of somewhat good for it. Obviously, if you took a damn nail to it and tried to scrape it, it would obviously go right through the freaking wax anyway and destroy the paint. So, but I guess let's park this thing outside and see if we can get the sun shining on it. And still running on the fuel from last year with the stabilizer in it. Haven't burned a lot. Oh, here, You can definitely tell it's a lot shinier. Definitely tell it's a lot shinier. Sorry for the wind here, but we'll just take a quick look. Get more of the natural light on her. You know, there's not much for sun now, but I didn't hear that click out of there. At least you get a little bit more light on it. I did put wax over the headlights too, so I don't know if that'll change anything on it or not. Doesn't look like it. Made it look a little brighter anyway. Well, there you go, guys. That's pretty much well it. I think I got everything here. Looks a little shinier. This should protect the paint a little better anyways. It probably could use another layer, but I'm not going to really bother with too many layers on this thing. After all, she is a working tractor, but you got to keep it somewhat looking good too. But I think if I do plan on buying another tractor, I'm going to wax the bitch first. Just to protect the paint. Wax her up good. It should be good. And I think I'll be putting my tender wire thing there away too, because I won't be hooking that up to the tender anymore. Because once the grass really starts to grow, I'll be doing a lot of mowing, so should be fine then. More towards fall is when I'm going to need to put it on the tender, because I won't be running it quite as much. So yeah, anyways, guys, I'm going to probably take off, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If I did anything wrong with the waxing, I guess kind of let me know. Even though I didn't really show how I was doing it, but that's just that, you know, it just take too long. It would be a big video, so this is the after of it. A little more smoother, a little more shinier, not by much though. So yeah, anyways, guys, I'm going to take off, so I guess have a good day and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.